Make sure the audio's on this time.
It's always on.
Is it?
It is indeed.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it was me who muted my YouTube last time I was watching.
I'll do it.
Oh dear. Right, and we're live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Droneislife Live. We are joined this evening. I'll do the faux names of everybody just so that Paul knows who everybody is. First of all, we are joined by 2015 UK champion James Bowles.
Hey, hello.
We are also joined by the highest female ranked UK pilot, Kelsey Hunt.
Hello.
And her dad, Malcolm.
Yay.
We are joined by Droneislife sponsored pilot, Daniel Toon.
Yeah, just a random mug.
Just a random mug, yeah. And we're also joined by Droneislife sponsored pilot, Luke.
Hello.
And I'm your host this evening, Shane. And we are honoured to be joined by poor Nurkkala, i.e. the 2018 DRL champion himself. Welcome, Paul.
Welcome, Paul.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me. Sorry, I'm not in my usual setup.
That's all right. That's all right.
My internet went down just as soon as we were trying to get going, so.
We're getting there. We're all getting there. So how's everybody been this week? What have we all been up to?
Working. I'm trying to see if there's a better spot in my house for this, because, like, it's pretty bad.
Pointing the phone to all the corners of the house to find the best internet.
These are some comfortable puppers.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, the things have been good. It's trying to just figure out how to keep moving on in spite of a world that keeps wanting to stop, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereabouts in the world are you? Whereabouts in the world are
I'm
you?
sorry, I didn't hear that.
Whereabouts are you in the world? Where are you?
I think what you said was, whereabouts in the world are you? I live in Indianapolis, Indiana, in the United States. It's pretty close to Chicago.
Oh, excellent.
Cool. All right, okay. Paul, we're going to start this back from the beginning because, if I'm honest, you were one of the very few guys that got me into the hobby. So I kind of wanted to ask, who got you into the hobby?
Who got me into the hobby? So the very first like FPV drone racing video that I saw that I would say was like what hooked me. Like I remember sitting at work, watching this video, and I just immediately was like, I have to do drone racing now. And that was the French Forest video. I think it was Juz is the pilot's name, where the GoPros and LEDs on the drones, and they were just flying through.
Yeah, I saw that one.
The woods. That was the one that
That's Herb Levine's video.
got me hooked.
Is whose video? Herb Levine's.
Herb Levine. He's the head of the what Drone Racing Association. I can't remember. He's a little angry French man. He's a great laugh. He's a great laugh.
All right then.
Oh dear.
I'm so sorry. I can't hear a word that is being said at all. Oh no.
No.
Oh shoot.
Is it coming back? You can hear us now or not? Hello?
That's a no.
That's
a no.
definitely a no.
Oh no.
No, is he frozen? Oh, he's back. No, he's moving.
He's back. He's moving.
Oh no.
No. Oh, he's there.
frozen.
I can't make out any words at all.
Oh no.
Hopefully we'll get Paul back as soon as we can. He's still there. He's moving. Can you hear me now, Paul?
I can hear a little bit now. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Actually, my wife is one of your biggest fans, not because of you, but because of your dog.
Yeah, I can't.
No,
I
he
couldn't
ain't
hear the
got
question.
it.
I'm sorry.
Wasted.
It was wasted, wasn't it? It was a good moment. Oh no, we love the internet. Hopefully we'll get back with Paul. So, Daniel, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to?
Yes.
Not a lot today.
Do you guys? I don't know if you can hear me still, but do you guys want to try to postpone for like a few minutes and see if things come back here? I can do a little more troubleshooting or push it over time or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, do that. We'll be here. Come back whenever you can.
Yeah, drop in, drop out, drop out, drop in even.
Turn on, tune in,
But
cop
I
out.
guess I can't even hear your response either.
Thumbs up.
Give
Thumbs
it the
up.
thumbs
Yes.
up. Give it the thumbs up. We can hear.
It's like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, I know. He's kind of wondering.
What are they doing?
Quick.
Maybe. It might be able to hear us better if he actually played the YouTube video.
How far out of sync is it?
Right, he's gone. But Paul is currently having internet issues at home. The moment that, obviously, for people watching, the moment that he tried to join, his home internet connection died, and he's been trying to speak to us on his mobile, and it's just not working. Clearly, I thought it was only me that got internet issues.
Apart from Jab.
Hey, I don't have issues. It's not my internet at all. It's the webcam. This is VGA. VGA webcam.
What?
This is.
VGA.
Yeah, 640 by 480.
I didn't even know that
Oh,
was
yes.
still a thing.
Pure res.
Oh, dear. Can everybody see what's going on in the chat? Because I can't see the chat for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the
Say
chat.
hello. All good. How's it going, Mikey? Yo, evening all.
Oh dear. What's new? What's new? What's on the way? I should be answering that question, really, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
We have no
I'm
idea.
excited. The Gem fans. The new Gem fans. Props.
Ah, well, there's a funny story.
What?
Not
They're still
really.
not in yet, are they?
No, are they hell? So, last Friday, I get a tracking email. Can I say the name of the courier? Is that fair?
Yes.
Yes.
Name and shame.
All right, UPS. Okay. They are in Exeter. This is very late Friday. They are in Exeter. Custom duties need to be paid before we can deliver. And a big shiny button that says pay now. So I paid now, and then you get another email saying your delivery is scheduled for Monday.
Sounds fair.
Yeah, so 2 to 3 days appears on the...
Yeah, absolutely. So Monday comes, nothing turns up. And then I get another email to say it's been rescheduled for Wednesday due to delays. And then this morning I tracked it, and they've just been dispatched from Korea.
What?
What?
How have they got it into Korea? For God's sake?
Oh, God, no.
I did.
What?
Maybe there's an Exeter in Korea.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No. No, that's just not possible, is it? But yeah,
North or
it's...
South? That is the question.
Hey?
North or South Korea?
Hang on. Let me look it up on my phone a second.
It turns out Kim Jong-un's like a
Kim
really
Jong-
good FPV pilot.
Oh my god.
He would probably be the best SPV pilot. Or everybody in North Korea would say he was.
Yes.
Greatest FPV. He doesn't even need to wear goggles. He just wills it.
It's alright. It's Shane's YouTube account.
Great.
He's going to be executed.
If we don't see Shane in like a week or so, then
It's just not-
He'd be in a hard labour camp.
no.
Which is just a rumour, apparently.
What's the rumour? Hang on a minute, I'm tracking a parcel here for good reason. Right. Details.
They sound great on paper, but I mean, a lot of things sound good on paper, don't they? And
It just says the Republic of Korea.
Yeah, that's South Korea.
There you go. But literally, the day before, they left China. But on the 29th, they were Exeter, UK.
Well, maybe it was return to sender, and then they got halfway and thought, "Oh, we need to turn it round."
Yeah, but isn't South Korea further away than China?
Yeah.
Look at the list of everything going through that. It's just ridiculous.
Wait, it depends which way around the world you're going, though.
Oh, I suppose. Oh, yeah.
That's true.
No, it probably still is. It probably still is further to get to Korea than to here than it is to go from China to there.
Right, Paul is having internet problems, but he's still trying to sort it out. He's just emailed.
Excellent.
So hopefully he'll pop back in. So we need to time fill. You know what I mean?
Do a dance. Do a dance.
Do a dance. Go, Daniel. Do a dance. Dance, monkey boy.
Brawl, that's about it.
I like the way that Luke is like fixing live on air. What are you fixing,
Oh, yeah.
Luke?
The 7-inch that died yesterday. I will.
Oh God, here we go.
Beauty.
Don't put it down the trousers. Don't put it down the trousers.
VGA keyboard there, I see.
Oh yeah.
I see planes in reflection on the wall
Here
in the
we
background.
go. We can do live fixing. So the thing that's died is this thing.
What ESC is that?
It's the OG Hobby Wing 45 amp.
I see, it's not an aircon.
Yeah, you want to get Acon in there, mate.
I don't
They're
know
calling
if I don't manage to kill this.
Oh, Paul wants to
Make
know.
out the outline of an ESC.
Yeah, extreme close up.
I'm trying to find something to like flip it to. Aren't I? There we go.
Paul wants to know is there a way that he can phone in to Google Hangouts.
Oh, look at that.
Can he appear without his face? Or something? You can turn your camera off. Will that use less Wi-Fi?
Let me.
Anyone been flying this week?
Yeah, plenty.
Yeah.
Oh, get on. Where you been flying?
Where have I been flying, or what have I been flying?
Where?
Where? Nothing special. Just out and about.
What fields and stuff is it?
Yeah, it's just that one field that gets like 99% of all packs flown.
Oh, is this one around the back of your house?
Yeah.
Ah, wicked. Nice.
See, we went out and Kelsey broke her top plate.
Oh no.
We went to
Was it worth it though? Was it doing something epic?
5 minutes.
Yeah.
that
I
bad,
broke it a while ago, but it just kept breaking and breaking more until my video went shaky. So we're just
Yeah,
like,
everything was vibrating on the quad.
Yeah,
so
I've got,
GoPro
like,
footage was
footage.
like.
yeah, I've got footage to edit, but it's all shaky, so it's a bit
Oh,
dodgy.
no.
I'm still gonna post it and just like put
Send
it.
it.
I'm like, sorry, it's a bit shaky. I can't. My
That's the
GoPro-
thing with a Nova top plate, though. It's such a slim piece of carbon either side.
Yeah.
Ooh, design flaw.
Yeah, it's. I must admit, it's not too bad when you get the camera plates in there. It's quite rigid, but it is still quite skinny.
You just gotta hit it right, and it'll just snap.
Yeah, you hit it right, all right.
Has it got camera plates on the side like reverbs and stuff?
Yeah,
Like carbon thing. Oh right.
I don't even know where it is, but yeah, there's carbon
There's
fiber
one on
plates
it,
that come
there's
down the side.
ones there.
What?
Okay.
Oh, the old Nova. Yeah.
I get it.
There's a Nova on the wall. What's going on?
Yeah, just nick the top plate.
Oh no, we got top plates done.
Ah.
Oh yeah, but it's not got the camera plates in it, has it? There are camera plates in the side here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just believe us.
I
Honest.
believe yeah.
I'm glad to say that I fixed it.
Yeah.
Hey.
I've somehow managed to solder on that massive filter thing or whatever came off the ESA, and it now makes
Wow.
all noises.
Wow. I can't do that.
Yeah.
And he's still got his props on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Good bath.
Live decapitation.
As the screen goes fills with blood.
Yeah.
Has anybody had that happen to them where it's literally gone full throttle in the house while it's plugged into the computer?
No.
No.
I've never plugged in and had it go full throttle like instantly.
I've had it on a plane, though. Not on a quad.
Oh, I've had that as well. Yeah, on a plane.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's where when you bind a new receiver on Spectrum, and
fail-safe.
you flick the trainer switch up, turn on the radio, it binds, and then you put your radio down, you're messing about, you're trying to fiddle the bind plug out of the receiver, which is on the most stupid plug-in ever. And if your throttle isn't down, that is the fail-safe position. So as soon as you take the bind plug out, you unplug it, and then the motor's going, whee!
Ooh, scary.
Oh no! I've had one go full throttle with me in the dining room just before it caught fire,
Oh,
and I was literally I had laptop cable plugged into it. The typical story of I've done this hundreds of times. I don't need to take the props off. It's been fine, sort of thing. And I'm doing something, and the motor started to spin, and I've literally just banged my elbow down on the top of the battery. It's a freestyle frame to hold it down, and then I couldn't hold it there. It kind of went off. But then you're trying to beat it up to make it stop, but you don't want to because you know it's just going to take your fingers off. So you're like, and then it landed on the floor, and then you're trying to stamp on it, and also, and it's just evil. It's utterly relentless. It just needs to go for the jugular. Yeah,
it's like those control line planes where it's buzzing around, but it's just buzzing around on the USB cable.
No, the cable could just come clean out. It just just went, sort of thing. I was saying that those planes on the bit of string
on the washing line.
Yeah. Actually, it just reminds me as a motorized kite, right? It would be even funnier if the guy just stood still whilst it was going around.
Yeah, just.
Maybe you can just get closer and closer. Because they had those guys up at Western.
There's a fiver.
That's my fiver. It's mine.
Oh, okay. Pikey's in the house.
But I don't know what I dropped. I need to just stop.
Yeah, they had those plane guys at Western Park, and they were literally right behind the tent when we were racing. It was so annoying like, all day. Oh, really? Shoot somebody.
They're enjoying themselves.
Things for that were the ones I saw at the Nationals when I went to just watch some stuff. They had the control line pulse jets. They are so loud, and they make the most annoying noise ever.
I'm just checking for emails from Paul to see how he's getting on. He's still working on his internet.
What are the F80s like, Luke?
Huh?
What are the F80s like? Because I've got the 6-inch on the 2207s, and I get exactly the same flight time as I do on 5 inches or 6-inch, and then my dedicated 5-inch rig outperforms it in terms of flight time.
Yeah, the F80s are brilliant motors. Honestly, this quad. This is the first issue I've had with this quad in probably just under 2 years. It's been going for 2 years non-stop. Pretty much.
That's a fair effort.
Yeah, it's not bad.
TBSND filter Terminator style.
Oh yeah.
No, he's not here. Somebody just magically opened the office door. No, he's not even here. That's the thing. The door opened, Franz come running up, has the cat come in, sort of thing, and he's nowhere to be seen.
It's going to savage your leg any second. He's just waiting.
Don't in proper Evo.
He's there behind you on bookshelf.
He's what?
He's there behind you on bookshelf.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He's not. God, is he not stupid? And I can look in the camera then rather than turning around to see if he's there. Wait for it. No, he's not there.
Oh, make it look.
I'm calling in one of the boxes.
No, it would not be beyond that box because behind that is just a load of power units. So, like, there's an 8-way and then there's PC power packs powering chargers and stuff. So, if he was behind there, he'd be smoking round about now.
And your internet had been gone off.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you smell burning hair?
Something happened about that.
No.
Smoke trail.
What do people run in terms of chargers anyway? Because I've got two IMAX B6s running side by side and they're a bit outdated now.
Oh, the Hota D6 Plus I'm running.
Oh, I don't
Hell of a bit of kit.
The trusty ISDT charger.
Yeah, I'm rocking ISDTs, but old school ones. Check them out.
It has something in it. It makes a noise.
Now mine doesn't matter yet. I'm all good.
Good. It's annoying that I need to buy a parallel board, either a parallel board or another one as the chargers. So
Paraboard. It's just the way forward. You just get 5 packs in the same time it takes to charge one.
yeah, exactly. But the only issue is obviously you end up killing. If one battery dies on the charge, then you kill the rest, don't you? So
Well, yeah, fair enough.
We got the 4-port Sky RC. That's awesome.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Are they 4 independent channels then?
Yeah, completely independent. So you can have a 2S for your goggles charging the same time as a 6S and a 4S and a 3S.
Oh, that's nice. I
Oh,
might have
yeah.
to look into that. How much doff does that set you back?
They're about 130, 160 quid, something like that, I think.
Oh, bloody hell.
One of the things
It was the
though is a decent charger.
but yeah, it's really good. I mean, we both go out flying. Even Charles gone flying now. She's been flying lately. So
Oh, wicked.
when there's all 3 of us flying, it's there's a lot of packs being used. You either have a lot of batteries or be able to charge it.
I need some.
Hyper screen.
Oh, I saw the Instagram clip when Char was like flat out into the side of that building. Oh my god!
She's all or nothing. All or
Nice.
nothing, yeah.
I was like looking at it going, yeah, it's looking good. No, it's not. No.
She didn't break anything though.
Really?
Yeah, nothing.
She went beside the building.
Yeah, didn't break anything.
See, if
Still
I
fine.
would have done that, it would have been game over for the day, but
Yeah.
it was fine. I was like,
She's whacked it into 2 trees
2 trees on the building about
on the building.
3
Yeah,
times.
3 times. She wanted to fly through the building every time. Wow, big bang across the side of the building.
Who's got fails going? Oh, it's going to be the tune, isn't it?
Of course it is. What I want to know is, Malt's got his skateboard now. He's bombing about on it like Evil Knievel. When is the race going down between you and him?
Oh god, someone come
Take that airfield to that Davidstow airfield and just go down the runway.
Yeah, bro.
No, that David Stowe airfield, man. The potholes
Oh
everywhere.
no, that place is awful.
It took me 10 minutes to drive from one end to the other just to dodge potholes.
That's why you drive fast. If you drive fast enough, you just skim across them.
Yeah.
Well, not in my car, you wouldn't. you'd be face down in one of those potholes.
I tried driving on Davidstow.
Yeah, that's where Kelsey's first ever got behind the wheel of a car there.
Right.
What, Davidstow?
Well, yeah, there's Malt there clinging on for dear there.
That was, I'm not going to crash into anything.
There's nothing to crash into
Exactly.
apart from a sheep.
They weren't anywhere.
No, because he saw you driving.
Oh, shots fired.
See, it's a shame that Paul's not on really because he's literally just got into skateboards as well, isn't he? He skates to where he's flying, flies, and then skates home. But he made his skateboard, and I think I might be crazy. I think this is a 10 or a 12S board.
It's 12S.
Is it 12S? Is it?
Yes.
So what's
There's
yours,
a video
Mal?
of him on his drift track with it out the back, and he's like absolutely hauling balls on it.
It's a good job he's not on, Dan, because you know what I mean. He would need a translator for you.
Subtitles.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking the same about you, mate. I mean, like,
No way. No way.
One person that we should have on the show, it's not really quad related, but I still think they'll be able to talk for ages, is Colin Furs.
Colin Furs.
He's legend. Oh my god, he's such a legend.
Yeah.
Is it wrong that I need to Google him?
Oh,
my
no.
god! You would have seen one of his videos at least.
Traitor.
What's that, Colin?
For God's sake.
He made a bumper car do 105 miles per hour.
The British guy, the YouTube British guy. Yeah.
Guy
He's got the
built
bunker as
100
well. He's got the bunker as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. You know his 100 mile or like 60 mile an hour mobility scooter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tested that on is where I now go gliding, Buckminster gliding club. So all the people that are at the club who I like speak to and that when I mentioned his name once, they were like, "Oh yeah, he came here once. I didn't realise," and he zipped down the runway.
Yeah, drifting.
Oh.
Yeah, have you got an X class in the back of your room there?
We're off eBay.
What?
Have you got an X class quad at the back of your room still against the wall?
Maybe.
Or is that an ironing board?
Is it an ironing board?
You never know with these teenagers these days, do you? Anything's possible.
I've got the most stupid propeller on there as well. I've got a 1610 Master Air Screw on it. Just for... Because I can't use it for anything else. Cause it's just
How many tons does that weigh?
Let's put it this
Can
way.
you do us a favour? Can we stop looking at your crotch?
It's over 250 grams.
It's over 250 grams.
It's safe to say.
Have you got your operator ID on it?
Not yet, because it's still waiting on a receiver and some batteries and a GPS as well. I'm going to GPS on it.
Why do you need GPS? Are you going to do a Stephen Smith and go dive mountains with it or something?
No, but like, I've been advised by I've been talking to quite a few guys that build X class stuff, and they most of them run GPS just as a safety feature, so that they've got it on a switch, so that if they're in a safe position to do it, instead of it fail safe, and they just put it into GPS auto level.
Oh, it's just
fair enough.
Heavy and that big that even if they hit like lightly tap the ground, they just explode.
pussies.
So,
No commitment these days, Jav, is there? There's no commitment on these
I'll tell you,
pilots.
there's no commitment. There's no commitment. You got to lawn dart it.
I mean, back in 2012, they were flying X classes before they were called X classes. That's just what size they
Yeah,
are.
we just call big ass drones.
Yeah.
Does anybody else here use GPS when they do long range?
Yep.
You know, long range within line of sight.
Obviously within the 400 meter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
400
like a
feet.
walk.
4 kilometre unassisted vision.
Man with binoculars is still line of sight. That's right, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I use GPS because it's so often you crash and you're so disorientated. You're absolutely positive it's over there, but you actually find it over there.
Yeah.
Because I forgot I went round that tree, and I did so and so. So yeah, so GPS helps if you're going mid range. If you know what I mean.
See, I don't know if everybody saw the Instagram video I put up of mine fail safing out of the sky, and I did the sniper sound effects.
Yes.
No GPS on that bad boy.
I also saw Jav go and tail end Jamie.
Yes.
Yeah, that's because those two set off, and I was ready to set off, but I hadn't. I can't remember what I did. I hadn't armed the quad or something like that, so it still had the initial screen on the Tyrannus, so I hadn't pressed a button for it to then go, oh, normal.
Yes.
And so they took off, and then I was like, oh, panicking, flipped it, and then I was like, right, yeah, pile on into this gap in the trees, and then suddenly in the light transition, it was like, and I was about to plow into the back of Shane, and he just dropped, and then that just made Jamie appear. So, so I do apologise. It's my bad. My bad.
I did enjoy the unlisted video that you took of Jamie's van, and for the entire duration of the video, there's just Shane flagging V's out of the back of the van window.
yeah, it's like 90% of the video was Shane swearing.
I couldn't get in the front. I was social distancing.
That's fair.
So there was a screen or a metal panel between me and Jamie, and I was social distancing. So he said get in the back, and of course James had already thought it'd be funny to sort of come along with the side on his quad and start peering in the window. So he got met with the fingers. It's This is what we do.
James decided to be a Mavic pilot.
Yeah.
Through the window.
I did think about opening both sides of the van and see if Jab would actually go through it.
I would have done.
Oh, what? I have to rearrange that then.
Power looped it.
Is our plan still to go to Scotland then? Is that our road trip plan?
Well, my plan is eventually to make it to Scotland, but obviously on the way up is to pretty much stop off at everybody else. So, and now that lockdown's slowly easing, it's making it possible, but other things first, we need to get other things rolling. But obviously the racing season this year, I can only presume, is completely full barred. It's not happening at all.
I mean, there's not much point, is there, if they're not going to do... I mean, they can still race, but British champs will be difficult to do because there's not going to be enough. Actually, I'm trying to think, most of the qualifiers are in the second half of the year, aren't they?
Yeah.
So,
and there has to be, last time I spoke to Ben, BDRA, there has to be a month or 4-week gap between the end of the last race of the season and the finals. There's always a month, apparently. That's part of the rules. So did he just what? Whose house was that?
It definitely wasn't me. Lee, you shoot your door, please, if you're gonna fall over again. Right, okay.
Is it your brother?
Yes.
Is he from another mother or not?
No.
Okay, I'm glad you know what I meant. So yeah, anyway, so the racing season is football. I mean, obviously our first QE event for the Southwest, and when I say Southwest I mean Devon and Cornwall, was due to go ahead in 9 days time. Obviously not happening, so
big sad.
Yeah, we spent a couple of years fighting for that to make it happen down this part of the country for everybody.
Surely when they replan though, they'll let you do it again because
yeah. I mean, it'll happen next year. It's not a problem. I was just so looking forward to this year for it to happen. I mean, we were given the opportunity to do it. We got the yes sort of back in January. So, yeah, we were very excited to do it, but it's just not happening now. And if any races do happen between now and when the season finishes, I can only imagine it'll be a fun fly.
Yeah, it won't be.
Yeah, you can't base the entire UK racing season in 4 races.
Nope.
That's just not.
Just have a raffle. I might have a chance.
Have a raffle.
It would still be good to get a fun fly in though, even if it is like.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if they allow a bit more gathering of people, then I might put something on down this end as well, just as a fun fly. We got access to the venue sort of 24/7 at the moment, whenever we want. But
where was it going to be, Shane?
Well, normally in the past we've done races indoors in the horse centre, just outside of Plymouth.
Where was your QE going to be?
Sorry?
Where was the race in 9 days? Where was it going to be?
Just outside Plymouth, but it was outdoors. Literally in the middle of nowhere. We've managed to rent a field from a horse.
A horse?
Yeah. Not of a horse.
But
from a horse centre. We had FOAX down at outdoor access. We had facilities. We had electric on site, and the track was half in the field and half in a forest. So it would have been epic, but like everything else at the moment, it's just all cancelled. So pretty much like all my deliveries at the moment, struggling for stock.
Yeah. The Game Fan props, now the photon canopies. I'm seeing one common denominator.
Yeah, And new Apex motors on the way. So I've got more of the 2306.6 on the way. Tooney's already got some of that.
They're fire.
And they're the racing versions on the way. So these are 2207.6. And the 6S version is 1925 kV.
That's gonna hold balls.
It's gonna puff packs. That's what.
How much do they weigh?
How much do they weigh? That's
Yeah.
a good point. Let me find out for you.
Imagine them on an ultra light rig. It's literally just gonna warp space time. I mean, this Apex weighs like it's nigh on 700 grams, and the throttle's still a hyperspace switch.
For God's sake. Where do you find out your frickin' sayings? I could answer that with a GIF.
No, stop it. Honestly, every time you say, he must have it on keywords or something. It appears with a keyword, and he's got a GIF for every single word.
His entire keyboard. No letters on his keyboard.
They're just GIFs.
Yes.
Oh dear. Right, let's have a look. Wait, where are we looking? Wait. So they're 31 grams each.
That's not bad.
That's really good, actually. That's.
They're only coming in 2 kVs. So you got the 1925, which is obviously your 6S rig, and then for your 4 and your 5S rigs, they're coming at 2675 kV.
I'll run them on 6S.
Sorry.
Run them on 6S.
Smoky times. See, that's Jab's territory. That he loves high kV.
Gotta love
High
that one,
kV
didn't he?
is life.
Hell yeah.
Nah, I spent 3 years flying FPV with low kV, and then this quad has changed literally everything. It's a completely different ballpark.
When you say low kV, what sort of numbers are we talking? Like 4S, like 2450 or something?
2450, 2500 kV sort of region. It's nice, but it's not. It's good, but it's not quite Carlin.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's not Carling. So yeah, so these come in 2 different KVs, but they come in 3 different colours.
How does that work then? Is there 2 6S colours and 1 4S colour? Or...
No, there's 3 6S colours and 3 4S colours.
Which is the fastest colour?
It doesn't matter. You're sponsored by somebody else from Motors, aren't you?
What's that?
You're sponsored by 3B for Motors, aren't you? So you can't.
Hey, yeah.
You can't have them.
Oh no! I've already realised they're crap.
What, 3B Motors?
What's this?
Yeah. 3B Motors are crap.
No. Whatever you're talking about.
Right, okay. So the colours are the same for each KV. So you've got a black bell, and then inside the spokes, Daniel, I don't know what I mean because he's got a set of motors in front of him, is gold.
Yes, I've seen them. They're on the picture and they look epic. So
you've got black and purple. So these are black and gold. And then there is a reverse to what Daniel's got. So there's purple on the outside and black inside the spokes.
Oh.
Controversial, eh?
Does anyone know the chocolate bar, the armadillos? Whatever it is. It sounds like the advert they made for that. The crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside, or whatever it is.
Smooth on the outside, crunchy in the centre.
That bloke's a nutter.
Yeah. And then the last colour is orange on the blow. And inside the spokes is like an aqua blue. Oh, look at that. He's on the fence about that one.
You see, they'd work well with like the God props, the 4-plays, whatever they're called.
Yeah. They will. But yeah, so they are also all on the way.
Are they in ecstasy yet?
Somewhere in the world.
Can't believe they somehow ended up in Korea. That's just bonkers. How did we go from Exeter to Korea in the space of how many days was it, Shane? Like 3 days?
No, like half a day.
Yeah,
Okay.
like the corner camel all the way to the UK, all the way to the UK, and then they've just flown back.
Oh dear. But so yeah, so they're floating around the world somewhere.
What do people think of this? These props?
Oh god,
Oh my
please.
god!
I don't even believe you have them.
When people are posting like, "Oh, these are going to be amazing," it's like, "Oh my god!"
Just to see what they're like, and I'm going to go fly them at some point and see what they're like. We'll see.
I feel like you're gonna hit zero throttle and they're all gonna fold up. Like my idle's not gonna be enough to have them out.
Yeah, they just stay like that with the motor. They just stay like that with the motor going round.
Yeah.
Blade up one side of the motor.
Believe it or not, Lumineer tried that years ago.
They tried on a 6.7-inch prop, didn't they? And it didn't really work out so well.
No, it failed is the word you're looking for.
Yeah.
So why you think Dal can do it any better, I don't know.
Oh, Fox it. Well, because Dal is Fox it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That is right.
They should stick to making cameras.
Foxair do make really good cameras, so
Yes.
Believe it or not, Dal props take up 80% of the prop market.
Jesus.
Cheap and cheerful.
Above,
I thought-
above
Big.
Gemfan and above HQ and Azure as well. They monopolise 80% of the prop market because they're cheap.
Yeah, but I mean, I flew the 4.3s HQ V2S on this quad.
Mhm.
Didn't like them. Flew the V1S, liked them, and then run out of my V1S. So I've been running the Johnny props, these like boomerang Azure styles.
Yeah.
But the Dal have the Nepals, which look exactly the same, except they're a bit more curved. But they're pants. They float. Have you ever run the like super flexible props, and when you hit full throttle, the blade
They
flattens
plane
out,
out, don't they?
the most horrendous noise.
Yeah.
Honk. Like the tips.
It does what? It goes honk.
Honk.
Oh dear. Being very quiet though, Kel. So you're keeping you up.
I am tired, yeah. Well,
Aren't you due a 5-hour phone call with a boyfriend?
no. I woke up until 4 a.m. In fact, no, it was 3 a.m. Then I had like a 10-minute nap and then woke up at 4. And I stayed up for an hour.
Oh.
Stupid.
I've just checked the chat on the live stream and some of my friends and they're in the chat.
I can't see the chat, so you'll need to update me, unfortunately.
Right,
Somebody
keyboard warriors in the chat.
Oh,
They
really?
genuinely are. And then J-Ran just says, "Bossy, were you trying to get a room with Luke or something?"
You see, yeah, it was a waste of time getting him on stream. Like you said, we should have just given him a keyboard.
God. Who else is on the chat? Because I can't see. I really can't see it. Let me log in.
We got J-Ren, we got Mickey
Hey,
Dread.
how did chat stop working?
Yeah.
Stephen,
Mr. Aris himself is in.
yeah. Squeaky FPV,
Get on, Squeaky.
16 volts up.
And
Yeah, that's one of Luke's mates.
see, Iris is there. No. Nurk is still trying to. He's still emailing me, and he's still trying to fix his internet. So I think we have to gonna call it a total loss for today. But I'll reschedule him.
Well, if he's emailing, his Wi-Fi must be working.
Oh my god!
Baited him out there. Don't
Busted. No, he's emailing off his phone. That was his problem. He was using his mobile network to connect to us, but obviously it's just not good enough where he is.
Be alright when this 5G comes in.
J-Ren says Nurk heard Smoke Owls on and bailed.
No.
Yeah, I knew there was going to be some shots fired.
Oh dear, who else have we got here? Johnny Props for the win.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Really?
Yeah.
I like the V2Ss. I like the V1Ss as well.
The V1Ss are slightly more responsive than the V2Ss.
How is that even possible? The V2Ss are the same prop, just harder material.
They're not. They're way more.
Yeah, they're harder material, so they're more durable.
Yeah, no, but for people like crashing left, right, and centre.
They stop crashing.
You're not crashing, you're not pushing it.
Exactly.
Atto's in the chat. Whoop, whoop.
Atto's in the chat.
Atto's
Go
in the
on,
chat.
John.
Should we get John on again instead?
Has he stolen the canopies? He's stolen the canopies. That's my conspiracy.
But Atto stole your canopies.
Yeah.
Gay fan props for racing, V2S for freestyle.
See, V2Ss are awesome. I love them.
I do like the V2S. I've tried them on my 4S freestyle rigs, and they're nice.
I say that, but I'm currently on my freestyle rig.
Watermelons.
No, lemon and lime.
Lemon lines. What colour are your
What
watermelons?
have you been
Christ's sake.
looking at?
No, I remember.
Somebody's got to get that soundbite.
What's that? What happened? I missed it.
I'm coming back to screen recording now.
That's locked to the internet now. I can't.
Do I need to like rewatch that later and like
Yeah.
end up on Instagram?
No, I'll beat you to it.
I thought they were the S3s, so I just shouted watermelon.
I tried the S4.
And then realised they were the S4s.
Your watermelon's like infected. Green is moldy. Do not eat. Nim, 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 nim. So yeah, I'm rocking that with my freestyle.
Talk about your 6-inch quad.
Oh,
Right, easy. Easy.
Oh, booty. So these are these props. What are these props, Luke?
The K2.
Who's?
Yeah, but what's the name from? What?
Melons.
No, they're not one.
Double I've given up.
Bubble gum.
That's it, yeah, I remember.
See?
Who's stuck in the make? I missed that.
So this started life as a 6-inch alien, and then I got hold of a 5-inch body, 6-inch arms. We've got T-motors on them, which need to come off really because...
What's the difference between a 6-inch alien and a what? Wait, is it a longer body?
Paul's back. Paul's back.
Oh,
Hey, get on.
Oh.
Guess what?
This could be an extra long show.
Can you hear us, Paul?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Hey!
Yeah, wicked.
Holy cow.
Oh, wow, you just got louder.
Sorry, my bad.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
See?
So are we just coping with the audio for the minute, or...
I'm still working on video. It's supposed to be showing up. I'm going to re-plug in my webcam here. My goodness, boys. I am so sorry about all that.
It's fine.
Boys and girls, excuse me.
It happens, mate. It happens.
Jeez. Oh, wait. What? You know, for someone that is a professional technology person of some sort, I really don't have the best luck with technology sometimes.
It's fine. We've got a very nice picture of your back with Team Futaba written on it.
Yeah, there you go. Just enjoy some sponsor plugs.
Yeah, right. The sponsor plugs are better here because I'm running dual quadcopters.
What?
I said I'll stop running quadcopters battery straps when you get us Droneislife battery straps.
Right, okay.
Honestly, those Luminaire battery straps that you've got on the side chain, the best I've had so far. They're brilliant.
They are good.
Either those or the Hobby RC ones with the metal flap.
I think they're one of the same things, really, aren't they?
Menace ones are
The
good.
Menace ones are good.
Yeah, Menace ones are absolutely spot on.
Menace ones are epic.
Oh, here comes Jab again because he's sponsored.
Yeah, this one's... No, I'm
And
not
Cozy.
sponsored by Menace. I'm not sponsored by Menace.
Are you
But
not?
yeah, this strap is absolutely awesome. It's been lasted so long.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul's gone again.
Quality.
Oh,
Oh, he's back.
Hey.
and camera's back.
Video.
What an ordeal. So sorry about that.
Oh, look at that. He's in high def and everything.
Nice.
And actually, this is my bad webcam.
Oh, really?
It's still 6 times better than my one.
James is rocking an old VGA one.
he just took a Runcam 2 and just stuck it straight in the computer.
Yeah.
I was actually trying that with this.
There you go. Oh yeah, the
Mobius.
old Mobius.
Paul, if you need a translator for Daniel, just ask, all right? Because he's in that part of the UK where his accent's a bit wobbly.
Got you.
We all have different accents, though. Like, all of our accents vary slightly. You have so many different accents. It's just so strange.
Is that there is a thing in the States, isn't it? Accents.
Yeah. There's like if you go to like in New York, there's a very like harsh tonal accent where it's like you kind of have like more like up here, like that kind of thing.
You're
you go down south. Yeah, you go down south, you get the drawl, like how y'all doing? It's good to hear you here today.
Texas, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And then like I'm in the Midwest where you kind of get lots of like, don't you know, and it's good to see you, like that sort of, like almost like it's great. West Coast is pretty boring, but yeah, so it kind of changes around a little bit, but it's not. I would definitely not say it's as drastic as like a Cockney versus a London versus Cumbria, you know.
I think every city has a different accent in the UK.
Yeah.
Birmingham.
Oh no.
Brazil.
Brazil. Oh God, dear me. Well, it's a pleasure to have you, Paul. I don't know if you heard it all the first time or not, and we thank you so much for coming on, even though we're running a bit late. But hey,
yeah, I apologize for that.
It's all right. It's here. My wife will be ecstatic. Only because your dog should be there somewhere in the background. She's more.
Oh yeah, do you want to see them? I can call them in. Hold on, they're the real stars here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure we'll get one of them. Kylo, come here.
Yeah.
Come here, bud. Put this one over here for now. You can see how messy it is in here. Kylo,
true workshop.
come here. Up.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
right here. Can you look over here? Look over there. Oh, there's a good boy. Here, now breathe on the mic. Can you talk? Did you have a good day? Can you tell me about your day?
Well, you know, it wasn't bad.
Go.
Oh dear.
Anyway.
So, I mean, I don't know how much you heard in the beginning, Paul, what I said, but like I said,
Let's assume nothing. Sorry.
I assume nothing.
It was literally like I tried to record it for a second so that just because it was so funny to me, but it's just like
oh no.
I was like, well, yeah, I'm having a great day.
I genuinely thought his internet was playing up again then. I was like, no. Dear me. So we left it where we understood who got you into the hobby, and I remember that it was the forest scene, wasn't it, with all the quads with LED chasing through it. And I think the song was it "Run Boy"? Was it
"Run Boy Run"?
Yeah.
By
yes, that was
Wicked,
it. So, and I joined you very early on your YouTube channel. I subscribed to you and was following you very early, to the point where I watched you race Mega Drone X.
Yep.
And that was very good. That was in a cave, wasn't it? LED track in a cave.
Yeah.
That was very cool. Whose idea was Tiny Poop?
Oh gosh, I don't remember. I think I must have like actually just been at Lowe's, which is like a home improvement store here, and I was picking something up for like my house, and I just saw toilet seats. I'm like, these would be fun to fly, and then I realized that you can get like a toilet seat for like $8. Like, I could take a risk on that, right? Like if this doesn't work out, it'll be fine. So yeah, I bought a toilet seat and I said, let's see if we can make this thing fly.
Awesome.
And he's literally stood in his. I mean, let me get this right. Garage, not garage. Garage.
Garage. Yeah. Garage.
Trying to get it to hover.
My garage is made out of aluminium.
And he's wearing trousers and not pants.
Well, I'm wearing both.
Hey, how's that work?
Good man, yeah.
So,
Oh no.
no, Daniel, Daniel has the biggest clock ever sat behind him.
Oh wow.
Clock. He said clock.
I mean, all of us here have been racing at some point.
No.
You haven't.
Well, I've had a quad that hasn't run a GoPro, and we had one gate set up and 3 flags. So if that classes, then yes. No.
Did you have was there a path set up? Did you have to fly it in a certain order?
Yes.
Then you raced.
Then you raced.
Yeah, but it was only me.
That's fine.
Oh. It's great practice.
I'm racing the
So James is.
I think those that would say that they're racers say that their biggest competition is themselves, right? So if you only race by yourself, you're still racing. I think, yeah.
And unless you're racing against Luke Bannister, and it's Luke.
Yeah, fair enough.
Have you raced Luke?
You know, I actually have never raced Luke, or at least not in the same heat. We competed at the same at one of the international opens once.
DR1.
yes,
but I don't.
multi-GP.
But he was out way before I got to race him, so I mean.
Oh.
Because James is 2015 UK champion.
Okay.
Kelsey is the highest ranked female pilot in the UK. I think you're ranked 20th. Is it 20th out of everybody?
Me?
Yeah, I think it was 20th end of last season.
Yeah, it's around
Awesome.
there. I'm not 100%.
But you, Paul, have done DRL.
Yes, I have.
And to be fair, I mean, I've raced as well. And when it comes to like qualifying and things like that, I'm a bag of nerves. So for you to do, what's it like to do DRL? What's the build-up like? How intense is that?
That's a great question. It's pretty rough. I'll be honest. If you think about, so DRL is as much a TV show as it is a drone race.
Yeah,
like the racing is all real, right? Like it's all, we're all starting at the same time and finishing at the same time. Like there's no, there's no like TV aspects being played on that part of it. Right. But everything else is like full on, we're filming a TV show. So like there are, 150 people that are just staff, like that are helping build the course or build the drones or like all this kind of, people running around picking up stuff that I crashed because, and that's just staff. Then there's 2, like outside of wherever we're racing, there's going to be at least 2 full-size broadcast trucks. And like, this is like what they would take to like a sports event. And they have like all of the screens in there. So like they're sitting in there like watching like, okay, ready camera 2, ready camera 4, ready camera 1, like that sort of stuff. So, there's, that all of this is going on, right? Now you add in an audience of 4,000 people that are just there to watch. Add in a full day's worth of like interviews, going on local TV to promote the race, all this stuff. Add in that you're racing against 11 of the other best pilots in the world, and if you make a mistake, you're making it not just for the 4,500 people that are there, but for everyone that's watching on NBC in the States, Sky One in the UK, ProSieben in Germany, and then take off.
Pressure.
So it's just like, so yes, there's a lot of pressure, and you learn how to manage it really quickly, right? Like I don't freak out. Like I'll freak out about like really clutch heats, like where it's like the super like the golden heat, we call it, like this, the last finals round and all this kind of stuff. But like, I mean, the other heats, it's not as bad. Like you just kind of calm. Okay, go. But man, it definitely builds up if you don't figure out how to manage that stress ahead of time.
Yeah, because you don't get to manage your own quad there. It's all done for you, isn't it?
Right. They bring 600 identical drones to every race.
Jesus. And
then you're flying a brand new drone for every heat for every pilot. So there is enough drones that you never fly the same drone twice.
So you never make the mistake of putting your props on the wrong way around.
if that does happen, they have like processes in place to check to make sure that that won't happen.
Jesus.
So is each of the quads that are assigned to you? They've all got you've given your rates and your tune and that lot to it, or are they all the same tune, or what?
They're all the same tune, but there are 5 separate rates that we can choose from that are just like, because we're using a Tyrannus, it's just on the with the knob. You just, when you sit down at your controller, you just point the knob to which one. And then all of the pilots before the season agree on these are the 5 that we're going to use. So like when I race, I use rate bank 2. When Gab 707 races, he uses rate bank 1. Like, we just remember which one that we're going to be on, and then you set that before the race.
Cool.
Oh, awesome.
We got some questions coming in. Don't be offended by any of the questions, because the UK sense of humour is a bit... What's the best way to describe it?
As long as they're okay with me dishing it back, that's fine with me.
Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely. You can swear. You can drink beer on here. It's fine.
It's got
That's good.
We're all good.
So the question was, J. Rem put, how much have you ever been tempted to backhand Vanover?
I don't think anyone doesn't want to backhand Vanover at any given time.
He's a big personality.
But you know what though? Like if you just smacked him, like he wouldn't care. It's the only way to like really mess with him is to beat him, because that hurts. So my motivation is not to insult him or hurt him or be mean to him. It's I'm just gonna go faster than you, man.
Oh dear. Because we know the pressure of building up for a race for DRL. But obviously in 2018 when you won it, how much more was the pressure for the actual final?
You mean in that exact moment?
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, so I remember it being distinctly worse before we started racing. So like that was one of our first biggest audiences. Like they didn't really show it much in the show, but like there were probably 3,000 people there watching. And in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia at that time of year, even at night, like we're talking like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. Or up to midnight, it's hot and humid. Like it's 120 degrees Fahrenheit. That's probably like 35, 40 C. And it's at 100% humidity because you're right on the Red Sea. So literally like, we're not like prime athlete material already. and so we're just like drenched in sweat and like you're trying to drink like 3 water bottles an hour to stay hydrated. And so like my most nervous was like right as we were lining up to like do like our like walkout thing where we're kind of where they announce us like we're like wrestlers or something. It's that was what I was most nervous. I remember like bending over and like almost vomiting because I was just so stressed out. But then we flew, like once we flew the first heat, it was like, oh, okay, this is normal. I can do this. It's gonna be fine. So then by the time we got to that golden heat where it was me versus Gab versus Nub, I already knew that I was on the podium for the world championship. So like it was, that already I'm happy with my performance. Yeah. So anything at that point is bonus. So I got to just kind of relax and have some fun with it. And I think that came across in the show. So
I was going to say, in the final, everybody just looked a bag of nerves.
Yeah.
I literally recapped on it yesterday. I was just like, everybody just looked like a wreck.
Yeah. The toll that the weather and the audience and all that stuff took, on top of it already being a high stress race, like it was pretty brutal. It was rough to be there.
And how many from the DRL pilots are you actually really good friends with?
I would say all of them. Like that. Yeah. When we're at a race, like we'll be there for 6 days. And, except for the time when we're on camera, we're just usually just hanging out, like going around flying or just chit-chatting at a bar or whatever. Like it's all very relaxed. So like I would not say that I am not friends with any of them. I know some better than others, but that's life. Yeah.
And is Jordan's Jet,
yeah.
is his voice really that deep, or was that put on?
Oh, that's his. I think he brings it up a little bit for camera. Like normally it's even lower.
I had to ask.
No, it's a beautiful voice.
It's like every time he comes on, my wife goes weak at the knees. Oh look, it's Jeff. Hello, and then she's gone. Okay, God, dear me. So, other things that you're into then, other than DRL. Oh, by the way, are you in next year's season?
Yes,
you are.
Yes, yeah. That is announced. Yes, I am.
Sure.
Before I say anything, I should make sure. Yeah, no, we announced that all a couple weeks back. The whole new roster. We got Brett is coming over from the UK.
That's going to be a good challenge for you. Yeah, be a good challenge.
I've raced Brett a couple times. He is freaking fast, but we got to see how he is on the Racer 4. So it's a different game.
Yeah, that thing's heavy, right?
Heavy, yeah, 1.2 kilo.
Jesus, I didn't realize it was that heavy.
Yeah, it's that
beast.
I feel embarrassed when I.
Is it 2200? I feel like it's a 2200 or something.
It's a 2300 5-cell. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah, they wanted it to be big so that there was less battery sag. So like we're not using the full battery by the end of the course. You're still at like you're landing at like 19.5 volts, something like that, which is not all the way down. But that way, you're not having, because there's a lot of big straightaways on DRL tracks, just because that's really good camera moment. That's a good place for like announcers to kind of start, catching up with what's going on. And so they don't want it to be totally sagged out by the end. So we run much bigger batteries than we probably need for the sake of a consistent flight rather than like bursts of flight, if that makes sense.
Because they're also a really weird sized motor, aren't they? Like 2010s or something.
2108, I believe. Yeah, they're tall. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a monster. And apart from obviously DRO and things like that, cine whooping.
Yeah.
This is as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of people probably will agree with me. You started the whole cine whoop era.
I would disagree with you because there's people that were before me, like Robert McIntosh, who obviously created Real City Go, or Real City and Real City Go, and then the Squirt, the Shendron Squirt, was not my idea or my creation or anything. It was all between Gab 707 and Andy Shen. That was their kind of baby. And then even the word Cine Whoop was a guy in Denver. I need to get his name back in my head again. But like I pulled out the Squirt and just was like a prototype version. I was just kind of showing them what it was. And he's like, dude, that's a Cine Whoop, a Cine Whoop. You should call it that. And like so I have to make sure that he gets credit for that because. But but I did make a couple videos right away and they got pretty popular, but I definitely nods back to Robert and Andy Shen and Gab 707.
I mean, your whole cinematic videos that you made with it, there was one in a museum, I think.
Yep. Yeah, the City Museum is what it's called.
Yeah. That just went absolutely viral, and I think it was videos like that got people hooked. And that's what I mean by you fired off the hose, because it was your videos that were not necessarily the product. It was your videos that was making it popular.
Did the interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson, was it, off the top of my head?
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We that was just kind of another one of those like random connections. Friend of a friend, Neil happened to have like a half day available. And we swung by and I kind of got to fly around inside of the Hayden Planetarium offices and show him what FPV was all about. He was really into it, actually. Hit a lot of fun, and we're actually planning on some more stuff in the not so distant future. So be excited.
Awesome.
So what are you up to now then? What's the latest and greatest project? And we need to say it, other than the skateboard.
Yeah, actually, literally before I was having internet issues, I was literally sitting on the floor right here working on that skateboard, and I took it out to give it like a quick test run, and then I ran back in and was jumping on, and then my internet stopped working. So funny story. Other than the skateboard projects,
You can
going
talk
on-
about the skateboard is fine because
Other than flying off the skateboard.
Oh yeah, it tried to kill me.
Malcolm's got himself an electric skateboard. I have an electric skateboard, and I think
Did you guys DIY it or did you buy something off the shelf?
mine's off the shelf. I think Malcolm's is off the shelf as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but like when the amount of torque, like I've ridden boosted boards and all sorts of other ones and one wheels and all that, but like the amount of torque that you can get from like gearing it down from the motor into the wheel, like it's I weigh 240 something pounds. I don't know what that is in stone or whatever, but
he's learning the English ways.
But I'm a big dude, and it's like for like a skateboard to be able to pull me up a hill, as impressive as it is, but then when you put the amount of torque that this thing has, it just is like whoop, you're like, oh my gosh, it's scary.
Because your latest video, you fell off.
Yeah. So what happened was I was at like maybe 20 miles an hour, something like that, and all of a sudden like I didn't do anything, and the full brakes kicked on. And with the amount of torque that this has, full brakes is a lot of brake. And I just went straight off the front of the board. I tried to sprint like to keep myself upright, and I'm like, I can't run 20 miles an hour. So I got maybe 2 steps in, and I'm like, I'm done. I tucked in and tried to roll onto my side, and I literally,
it's the only way.
I literally skidded 20 feet across the ground, like a driveway, like rough concrete. It's just like
when you say braking, I guess it's not physical brakes; it's like ESC brakes. So.
Yes, it is ESC braking. Yep.
Yeah.
But because of the torque conversion from the motor from one motor to the other, it still has a lot of power with those brakes. Like it'll decelerate very, very quickly.
Because I think Malk is the only one here that hasn't fallen off one yet. I already have.
You jinxed him.
He hasn't told us he's not.
That's a really bad thing to say.
You didn't say that at the time.
I don't get quick enough. You could run at the side of it.
Has he fallen off yet?
No.
You're not falling off now.
But I'm going to jinx it. But no.
Have you broken any bones off it yet?
I didn't like this last one. I did not fully confess the extent of like how bad that accident was to my wife. So I don't want her to be like, hey, you very sure you think about this. But that being said, I always wear my helmet. Always wear some gloves. Don't be dumb about it. But it's like, ugh.
I had helmet and gloves on and all sorts, and I broke a wrist.
That was at 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, I kid you not. It was at 5 miles an hour.
I took me for the most stupid way to break a wrist. I fell off a stationary swing backwards and broke my wrist.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've fallen off at.
I'm not even moving. I just fell off and broke my wrist.
Don't get me wrong. I've fallen off at 25 miles an hour, and I've learned very quickly tuck and roll is the only way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I broke nothing. I scuffed my gloves and everything. I fall off at 5 miles an hour on a very smooth concrete surface, and I break a wrist.
Has this been since you were flying?
We were flying that day.
Can you fly then with a broken wrist?
No.
Oh gosh. Maybe I need to be careful.
Legs with the quad as well. Who hit him on the leg?
James.
That was me. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had a race though the weekend after.
Oh yeah.
Was it the weekend after or 2 weeks?
Yes. Yes, I came up to. I came up to Hull. Is it? No, it wasn't Hull. It was Suffolk.
Suffolk in this scary hotel.
Yes.
Oh God, it was.
And we went out for lunch to a pub. Get this, Paul, right? I had a calzone for tea.
Snapchat video of that as well.
And Malk was cutting it up for me like I was like a 2-year-old kid at a dining room table.
Of Shane sat there. My dad was cutting the food for him, and I was just filming them, like sat with them at this restaurant.
That's rough. That's rough.
It's bad because like where my thumb just doubled in size. And then you just couldn't move it, and then a day afterwards I had to take the wedding ring off before I was unable to pull it off. The whole thing just felt like a balloon. But because I'm a thumber, when I fly with my thumbs. I'm not a pincher. And of course My left thumb just didn't work at all.
That's why you need to Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh, I can't do that. I can't
That's
be
what
as
Duncan
disabled as
does.
Kelsey. See, James is a hybrid flyer. He thumbs with one hand and he pinches with the other.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Pinch with the right and thumb slash
And, the hybrid
with
where
the left. Yeah.
you're on the side with the thumb on.
In your mode too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense because like there's your input on your right side is a little bit more, it needs it to be a little more precise, and then the thumb you're just like
throttle
power.
So what else have you been into then, Paul? Other than the skateboard, what else are you up to at the moment?
I have been doing a lot of running. For whatever reason, now that because we're all stuck home, I needed something to do to stay sane. And so I've been running pretty much every day. Like I ran 8 miles yesterday. So that actually consumes a lot of time, in a good way. So that's been really good.
Is that like every American in your area running?
There's a lot of jokes about before quarantine, nobody was outside, and now that we can't be outside, everybody's going outside, like that sort of thing. Like
Yeah. Because everybody in the UK just bought flour and started decorating their homes.
Bikes have sold out all over the UK. You can't get one for you got to get them on pre-order.
What, for a mountain bike?
Yeah, any kind of bike, I think.
Any kind of bike.
Yeah.
Every man and his dog.
Did you understand that, Paul?
Wait,
Yeah.
dogs.
I just thought I might need to translate for you.
Thanks, appreciate it. Poor guy, I feel you. Don't worry.
It could be worse. We could have had Stephen on tonight, and he's Scottish.
Oh,
He's in the chat.
Is he in the chat? Is he also alert?
Chat.
He's gonna hate me in the morning. That makes it sound like he's staying over. What? That's bad. Right, we got any more questions in the chat here? So yeah. Anyway, Paul, you were saying what are you doing now?
Oh,
running. What projects have you got going?
The biggest project right now it still continues to be the Thick. This guy here, my Black Magic Pocket Cinema carrier. So this is a 7-inch octocopter.
Beast.
It runs 2 6-cell batteries in series strapped to the bottom. I've got one on there right now. Say it again.
Are they T-Moto F80s that I spy?
These ones are Hobby Wing 2408.
Back in your box, Luke.
And then, but if I chose any other motor, it would be the Brother Hobby Avenger 25 something. For whatever reason, I have a good balance of smoothness and power and efficiency. It's weird, but that's designed to carry this camera here. If I can get this thing off really quick.
Before you say it, that is a Black Magic camera.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Why are you putting that camera on a quad?
Because it doesn't have roll. It has a global shutter and.
Yeah, but it's a serious amount of money.
Yeah, but I mean, if I find the right client that wants to fly this camera or a camera like this, it's gonna pay for itself real quick. So it's it's a risk, yes, to fly this camera. But if I find the right combination and I sell it to the right people, it's going to pay for itself 10 times over.
Would you fly it on that oil rig?
If they paid, yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God.
See, that's the beauty of insurance and contracts is you say, if something happens, it's on you.
Oh my God. I feel bad putting a GoPro 8 at risk. And I have somewhere lying around here, I have a Panasonic Lumix digital SLR, which is about 600 quid's worth, and I would be mortified about strapping that to a quad.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you were at the beginning we were talking about like how do you manage stress during DRL? Like, this I gotta chase that high now. So I gotta put more and more money in the air, or else I'm gonna get complacent.
Fast forward 5 years, and it would just be Paul with a quad and a gold block,
like a human baby or something. Like,
because it's the only way to get the value up there.
Well, DTL put human in one, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. That's right. Which is also insane.
Yeah,
never, not in my lifetime will I get into a drone. That it's just no. I've seen too many drones.
Fall out of the sky.
Yeah. Not for me.
I'm just looking through the chat, see if anybody's got any questions there. People have e-bike rather than skateboards, apparently. I have had a go on one of those, and they are quick. They do like 50 miles an hour. They are very quick, but you don't feel unsafe on them because it's a bike.
Yeah, right.
You ever tried an electric scooter?
Yes, you don't. Again, you don't feel safe. Well, you feel safe on them because you're more in control.
Yeah, but that's where you're wrong.
Oh god, here we go.
I think I'm with. I think I see where this is going. I think I'm with you. Let's hear it.
I ended up in a hedge. And the funny thing was, I wasn't even trying to go anywhere. I got my mates going down this single track lane, gets to the end of the single track lane, and because it was a bit of an El Cheapo, it had the turning circle of the moon. So I wiped it down, and I'm pointing towards the verge at this point, and I'm like, oh right, well I'm gonna have to reverse. So I pull back and I pull on the twist grip, and this thing just techs off from underneath me and puts me straight to the head.
That sounds like user error, though.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
That's all he got from your accent is user error.
The hardest to ride. Have you ever seen those caster boards where it's two casters like that? I once had one of those. I can't remember. It's got a ripstick, I think it was.
Ripstick, yeah.
Yes.
I eventually learned how to do it, and it was cool once you learn how to do it, but the pain I went through to learn how to do it.
My sister had one of those, I think.
Had.
Yeah, had.
That went pretty quickly. Question in the chat, Paul. How old are you?
I am turning 29 in just a couple days.
Wow. Happy birthday for a couple of days.
Yeah, happy birthday for that.
Thank you.
Another question in the chat. I can't believe I'm going to read this.
Oh boy.
It's I'm not going to say, you can kind of guess who this is based on, right?
J-Ren.
Apparently it's not in the chat. They've messaged me on Facebook in the chat, so you can't. I ain't going to say who the name is, but you might get a feeling. For somebody that's very good as a drone pilot and other tech news, what's your best chat up line to get a go?
He's married.
I am married, so that's kind of tricky. Oh man, now I want to have like a funny response.
What is your best chat up line?
Oh man,
Have you ever seen drone racing?
yeah, I was going to say, have you ever seen drone racing on TV?
You don't do a Joey, do you? You're not a how you doing sort of person.
How you doing? No, Jet could. He opens his mouth and it's just like
Smooth operator.
fat nerd, so I got to really work for it, Like
Jet's just like, for women, Jet is just like having an Italian man talk to women. They just kind of crumble, don't they?
right? Like he's exotic. He's got that voice. He's got a good laugh. He's got a good smile. Like what's not? I mean, I'm in love with him, and I'm very straight and very married. But I mean,
God. Oh my god, that's really bad. Do I need to out this person that asked that question?
Yes. Name and shame.
No, I can't.
Yes,
They
you
asked me
can.
not to. Another question. How did you start cinematic media? What's the story?
I think maybe he's talking about like what my production company is called, which is called Synactive.
Ah, right, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what it does say.
Yeah, it
Does
does
it?
say yes. It's Stephen Atkins. How did you start? Yes, Synaptic.
Yeah.
Maybe it's his Scottish accent coming through. I don't know.
So it originally was like a partnership between me and my friend Winston, and we were kind of just, it was right in the time like I had kind of stopped working as a professional programmer, like a full-time programmer, and was starting to move towards drones as a profession. But I was still kind of in that middle ground where like, I can make a couple bucks doing drone stuff, but like it wasn't quite enough to sustain like a full-time living off of that, especially when I'm, trying to support a family and all that stuff. And so we started together basically a media production company to take the ideas that we have as drone operators. And what happens if we're drone operators first and we learn cameras second? What kind of interesting approaches would we have to just shooting traditional stuff, like whether that's like an advertisement or something for the web, whatever. And so we started Synactive kind of as like that experiment of let's take non-traditional camera people and put them in a position to learn cameras fast and see what happens with that. So that's what Synactive is. It still exists. We still use it as a registered LLC here in the States, but we don't really work under the name Synactive that much unless somebody needs it for like insurance purposes or something like that. Like bigger productions will say it's easier for us to make a contract with an LLC than with a sole proprietor or something like that. So yeah.
Right, okay, so kind of like over here, it'll be dealing with a limited company rather than a sole trader.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
I've got a question.
Go for it.
Left-hand polarized or right-hand polarized?
I prefer left in almost every circumstance because especially like 2 years ago, like everyone was right. Yeah, there you go. I saw one of your antennas off screen too, but I would have said left either way. Just like less people run left, it seems in general. So just
but
makes it
nobody
easier.
stocks left. That's the only issue.
We're all righties in the UK. That's the thing.
I'm looking at you, Shane.
Yeah,
you guys are all right.
You need to stock left-hand polarized.
I do, but it comes in the form of a DJI HD pack.
Yeah.
I don't run polarized. I use dye.
Menace pack.
Those are also RPSMA though too, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's the best no in the world. I can't even say it like that. Yeah.
What TX are you running, Paul?
So for Cine and Freestyle, I actually use the DJI radio because
Why do you say it like that?
it's kind of. Don't tell them I said it, but it's really not that great of a radio. But it's so easy, right? Because like you just put the air unit in, and then you don't have to wire a camera, VTX, or receiver.
True.
And there's a lot of like flight controllers where it will just plug straight in. So like literally, my standard like Cine FPV freestyle drone is 14 solder joints, including the motors, and that's it. So it's pretty compelling to use that radio for that. For racing, I use my Futaba T18 SZ or Z, and I still use my Tyrannus a lot as well. So
Nice.
So who are you sponsored to at the moment? Who sponsors you?
Yeah. So my biggest sponsor I would say is Hobbywing, Airviews, get that in there. Azure Prop, Futaba, and
Futaba are really expensive radios.
They are very expensive radios,
But they are supposed to be very, very good.
They are. I would say that I think they're still the fastest 2.4 gigahertz connection. I think the Crossfire is right at the same latency, but it's not 2.4, and I'm afraid of running 2.4 gigahertz at races. I've had a lot of problems with Crossfire connectivity during racing because people leave their radios on and you get stomped out on the smaller band. And but yeah, it's they're awesome radios. It's very, very nice to use.
Has anyone tried the Crossfire shot?
I have not.
No, I haven't either yet. To be fair, my setup works, and I'm not prepared to break it to find out.
Stephen's got a good question in the chat. He's asking about the train video.
Oh, it's a brilliant video. Love that one.
He says, "What were your feelings at the time of the flight through to the blow up on YouTube?"
Yeah. So we were out for Multi-GP Nationals 2017. I think it was the year that Vanover won. And it was a Sunday morning that we finished racing, and everybody was flying back either on Monday or on like that Sunday night. So we went out in the afternoon to just go freestyle and long range, because like there's beautiful mountains just outside of Reno, Nevada, which is where we were. And so we actually had been flying for probably 2 or 3 hours, just hitting random spots throughout the Truckee River Valley. And we came up to this spot. We saw that bridge with the river running through it, with the mountain in the background and all of the trees and all that stuff. We're like, oh, this is beautiful. And it's sunset. So I take off just to fly it, like as if it was long range. And I fly up to the top of the mountain. It was like right at that moment, my buddy taps me on the shoulder and he's like, hey, train's coming, you should turn around. And so like you could see in the video, like I like turn the drone to look down, I see it, and I turn back up the mountain, and I like have to like make a decision and then I fly down the mountain and get to the train. And like in that whole video started right there, just from my buddy being like, oh, turn around. So like it was really cool, because I think the reason that the video did well, other than like, it was cool that like the drone flew under the train and stuff, but it kind of had that story, right? It was, you can see like, okay, can we get away with this? Can we get away with that? Can we do this? And it just kind of keeps escalating over itself. And so yeah, it's the FAA didn't like it. The FAA is the Federal Aviation Administration. I actually got a fairly sizable civil penalty for having flown it. So please don't fly around trains, anyone. But I am proud about how many people it has brought into the hobby. Because it had such high visibility, so many more people were exposed to FPV, and for that I'm really proud of.
What was the fine? How big was the fine?
I purchased a car recently. The fine was more than the car.
What?
But then
it's not a super expensive car, but yeah. So I don't want to say exactly how much, but yeah, it was sizable. Yeah.
Ouch.
Jesus.
Well, YouTube revenue must have paid for that, though.
Well, no, because I didn't monetize the video.
No.
I used a song that was copyright. Like
yeah.
It was before I cared about YouTube, because I didn't have very many. Like I had probably like 9,000 subscribers at that time. Well, I mean, relative to like after the video was live for like 6 months, I think I had like 45,000, like just from that video. So it was, there's at that point it makes more sense to like really try to monetize, but the song I used was Gil Scott Heron is the artist's name, and so his publishing company made a few $1,000, I'm sure.
I mean, you've answered one of my questions already, because you were sponsored by Hobbywing, so clearly you use Betaflight, yeah?
Yep. Yeah.
Have you tried like Flight 1 and KISS and things like that as well?
I haven't tried KISS in a long time. I think my last KISS rig was in probably 2017, and that was right around the time that everybody was dealing with the KISS honk issue, where it would just like at mid throttle just go all the time. I never knew that one. What was that?
I never knew that one. Never came across that one.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. Like for a while, it seemed like many people were having problems with it. And then I have tried Flight 1 a bunch of different times. I'll try it like once every like 3 months just to see what is going on, what it's like. But the hardware availability is a showstopper for me. So
yeah, they always seem to be very out of stock.
Yeah, but like I'd rather just get in the air, you know.
Yeah, I do. Obviously, because I'm a retailer in the UK, and we do buy from Preston,
Yep.
and yeah, it comes in dribs and drabs.
Yeah.
So, obviously, our main other sort of suppliers is things like Acon. We do a lot of Acon stuff. DalRC, things like that, and they're all very sort of fast turnaround time. We try and stock things that are a bit rare, or things that other hobby shops in the UK don't supply, so makes that are not around. I think I've had a conversation once with, is it Sven Drones? Is it the guys that do the
Shen
work?
Drones.
Yeah, Shen Drones.
Yep. Sven Drone sounds great though too.
It's like the German equivalent.
Yeah.
It's the what equivalent?
The German equivalent.
You should start a second website for like UK distribution or EU distribution called Sven Drones.
Oh, don't. Oh, they're going to get the piss ripped right out of me once this is over. I can see it coming.
Squeaky FPV is asking about the. I was going to ask this question as well. It's about your 12S 5-inch rig. Like, your 12.
Oh yeah.
Rig.
Oh yeah.
Did you come up with that?
That was here. I'll grab it right here. Sorry.
It's like, why not? 4S to 6S, 6S to 12S. It's like the logical step, isn't it? No?
Yeah. Well, so what I think happened was, so I've got my X-Class rig is right here in pieces right now. I just haven't assembled it since the last time, because like when I travel with it, I have to tear off the arms basically to fit it into a carry-on or into a bag. And so I was looking at it, I was like, oh, I should put that together. It'd be fun to fly it for a couple of minutes. But then I started doing it. I realized that the last time I flew it, I broke my props and I didn't have a spare set of props. I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. And then I kind of just like started thinking, I was like, oh, I've got an extra. Yeah, exactly. I got an extra set of the APD ESCs, which are the X-Class 12S, really nice ESCs that I won at like International Open 2019 or something like that. And I was just like, and then I was like, wait, I've also got some like crazy like 900 kV motors. Like these things are. Let me see if I have a.
I was just going to say, what motors are they? Because it's running 12S.
It looks like old Cobra motors.
So this is a 2306 in my left hand, and then that is I think it's a 2812 if I recall, something like that. It's like stupid huge.
Police guy or something.
This is a Brother Hobby motor. I believe they actually sell them now, but it's 900 kV. So if you do the RPM conversions for 12S at 900 kV, you're looking like what used to be like 2600 4S or like 1800 6S, something like that. And so I was like, so that would be a great 5-inch combination, right? So I built it just because I was like, what am I going to do for a video today? And I built it for 5-inch. I put the 5-inch. I'm like, it's fine. And I put the 6-inch on. I'm like, this is fine. And then I put the 7 on, and I was just like, what the heck? Because like they're still coming down cool because the motors are so big. There's so much displacement that it can dissipate the heat. It's an absurd amp draw, right? Because you're basically it'd be like running 7-inch props on a 2600 kV 4-cell setup. But there's so much displacement in the motor that it stays cool. So like I just eventually like I was just like, well, let's just keep seeing how crazy this thing can get.
What I run now on 7-inch, I run the F80s 2200 kV 4S on 7-inch.
Yeah.
But the only reason I went with the high kV was because the 1900s were out of stock. So I was like,
I got you. But do you have a throttle cap on that, or do you give it the full?
No, full run.
Full bit, yeah. So like that's stepping towards the same like equivalent kV ratio. It is just like it's absurd, right?
Yeah, it's got the
what's the maximum amp draw you've seen on that?
PSC in there, the 4-in-1.
Yeah.
I don't think
wow.
Anymore.
The one that you broke.
The one that loads of people were having problems with them blowing up, and the one I've had in this has lasted 2 years.
Yeah, I had one of those break out of like the 20 that I owned. I've had like of the original ones only like one. Like I don't know.
Literally just before you came on, I was fixing it because I crashed. I did try to matty flip yesterday with it, crashed it upwards into the ground, and one of the little things on the board came off, and I was plugging it in and nothing was working. It was just. But I've just fixed it and it's fine now. So
good.
Paul, what's the maximum amp draw you've seen on your 5-inch on that 12S?
I don't have OSD set up.
Because
I don't want to know.
That's hardcore. That is hardcore.
Well, it's tricky because like I have the 12S, the two 12S batteries that power the flight train, and then I have two tiny whip batteries in series that power the flight controller and the VTX. So they're two separate systems, so that I don't get a bunch of noise or figure. It's hard to step down 12S voltage to 6S or anything like that. Yeah, exactly. So I just was like, I'll just run two separate batteries. I mean, it's not like it's suffering from thrust. So like, I'll put another battery on. No big deal. So I actually run 4 batteries on that thing when I fly it.
Wow.
What frame is it on, Paul? Is that a Project 399?
Yeah, it's the Project 399. I think he calls it the practice rig. I wanted him to call it the Super Duper G, but he didn't go that.
Oh dear. Right, what have we got in the chat? Any more questions in the chat? Because I know people are on there.
Yeah, whatever anybody wants to talk about, I'm more than happy to chat. Obviously, I'll talk about fines or DRL BTS or whatever you want to do.
Are you still part of Rotor Riot?
I have never officially been part of Rotor Riot.
You've been in a couple of episodes though, haven't you?
Yeah. I think there were just a couple opportunities for me to travel with them, and I'm good friends with Drew and Zoe and all them. So it's like they had an opportunity for me to go with them and participate in some episodes. I'm like, absolutely, I'll come hang out when I have time. So yeah.
I remember that Drew and Steele came to the UK on a tour once. And
that's right.
And Drew lost his guy liner. And he went to utter meltdown because he couldn't get his makeup on in the morning. and whoever's house he was staying at, their mum gave up her eyeliner for him.
Oh, that's nice.
I not know about this.
Have you not seen it?
No.
Oh, it was epic. He wouldn't leave this house until he had guy liner or some form of eyeliner.
They met up with HPI, didn't they? They had a fly with HPI guy.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they met with HPI.
That was one of my earliest subscriptions, I think, was him.
HPI guy. Yeah, he's a star. Absolute star.
With his surgery and all that was for such a long time that he was dealing with. Yeah.
How much would you have given to go to Chernobyl with him?
Oh man, I still see footage from that repost. I'm just like, at that time, I'm glad I didn't go because like I was not a very good pilot at that time.
In my opinion, the best thing from that was Tommy's dive, the Duga dive.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That was like
classic.
And then getting his quad stuck up on the
Ferris wheel.
And then some bloke just turned up and he's like, "Yeah, I'll free climb it and grab it, boy." And just totally normal.
We keep thinking about doing a road trip to go there.
Yeah,
I have spoken to him a couple of times. Like, we need to go there, sort of thing.
Do you need special permission to go into the exclusion zone, or is it just okay?
There are like loads of hoops in which to jump through to make it happen.
I bet it's especially hard now that like that Netflix series came out on Chernobyl and all that stuff. I bet more people want to go check it out now because of that.
Yeah,
I might go and come back with missing an ear.
Or a third ear.
A what?
Yeah.
And come back and you'll glow in the dark.
It looked like the underneath of Paul's desk. That is pretty bad. Right, any more questions in the chat? I think we're getting a bit towards the end.
Everybody's falling asleep.
So, Paul, you're talking about fines.
Yeah.
So that says fines. There's more than one. So what was?
No. Sorry. There was just the one. There has only been one fine.
There's only been one. All right.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right, I'll let you off then.
No. I learned my lesson, FAA.
Do we believe him?
That you can't show.
Can you say that again?
Have you got loads of footage that you can't show?
We all have, haven't we?
I'm trying to think. Like, I don't. There's stuff that I opted not to post, but like not because it was bad, but could be perceived that way. And I think that I think that there's eyes on me now since then, that like if somebody decided to perceive something the wrong way and report it, that it would that there would be less due process, if that makes sense. So I am a little timid with what I share sometimes. Like the other day, I was flying on a lake, and I was within my designated airspace at the proper altitude, and all of a sudden, like literally, like at 200 foot, a seaplane came over, like a hobbyist seaplane came and landed, like not that far away, and I was just like, oh my gosh! Like I was like trying not to hit the drone into the water as I like cautiously made my way back to shore, but I'm like, I'm not going to post that anywhere because I did the right thing in the video. Like I saw a potential disaster and came home. My spotter saw it for me, all that stuff. But like, I'm not going to post it because it's just like, you know, the perception on that is poor.
That will just kick off about it.
What did you make of Blaster's video?
The one around Denver?
Distance.
I thought it was awesome. I loved that he had the like the hidden logo hidden throughout and had the little competition.
Yeah, that drove me mad for a while.
I found the one on the side of the cinema, and that's the only one I found.
There's 4 more.
Yeah, I knew there's 4 more. I couldn't find them, honestly.
Oh, you need to try harder. If I
Jay ran in the chat wants to know your thoughts on real steady and reversed footage.
Oh,
if only you knew he was going to ask
oversaturated videos.
You know, there's a time and a place for reverse footage. Absolutely. And there's a time and a place for real steady. And I would say that I probably am gratuitous with my real steady, to be honest, but that's because I really like the way it looks. But like, you know, so like reverse footage, the reason that you do it right is to draw the audience in and make them wonder about what's going to happen. Right. So like, when Robert McIntosh did it with his original video with at Muscle Beach, right? It told a story starting with the mural of the athlete and kind of going through and telling the story of Muscle Beach, ending with the finale, the epic conclusion of flying through that little ring backwards.
Yeah. And how did he fly through that?
Yeah. And so like that draws the audience in, it tells them a story in it, and it's not just reversed for the purpose of reversing it. It's for the purpose of telling a story better. Now, using real steady is just the same way, right? Like, you know, there's a time and a place for a drone footage to look raw, and maybe like have some vibrations and some not super, you know, like some kind of choppy movements. There's a time and place for different things, but it all comes back to what story are you trying to tell? And so, you know, usually the story that I want to tell is moving forward and stabilized so that drone enthusiasts can enjoy it a little bit more. And there have been times where I thought that reversing it told a better story. And so I'll choose one or the other. So I wouldn't say that people that reverse their footage is wrong or that's the coolest thing in the world. They just need to make sure that they're using the right thing at the right time. There's times when I'm working on sets where I'm like using a drone is the wrong tool for this. And I'll talk myself out of a job because I'm like, the drone is not going to deliver anything better than like a camera on a gimbal can do, you know? So why are you using a drone? And so there's, you know, you got to find this balance of, am I enhancing the story or am I creating gratuitous drone footage for the sake of drone footage, which I'm all about. I mean, I get it, but it's all about how do I tell the story better?
Right, another question, Steve, in the chat. What is the one place you want to fly but can't fly? So a bucket list item.
Bucket list.
That's a good question.
Maybe my achievable bucket list item is I've always wanted to fly an amusement park with like all of the rides going. Yeah. Like that is like been my dream for so long.
What,
maybe
with people on them or not?
if we could find a way to do it legally and safely, I would put people, not like, randos, but like extras. So that, like, for the purpose of making an advertisement or a moment in a movie or something like that. And then like place.
There must be a way you can do it somehow, like as an advertisement or something for a theme park.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Probably see it really as a really good way to promote their sort of their business and their
right, because an amusement park is trying to bring you on a journey, on an adventure, and make kind of like that Disney mentality where like everything is better than it seems. And what better way to do that than to like to have an out of body experience flying through the whole park or something like that. Like absolutely 100%. Yeah. But they won't listen to me.
Oh, one day, mate, one day.
And then my unachievable one, I would love to fly Machu Picchu. I don't know why, but that's kind of like been up there. But it's a very, very religious, holy site that no one's ever gonna fly there.
Really? There is that. Another question: video editing software. What's your choice?
Mm-hmm. I use Adobe Premiere for pretty much everything. A little After Effects, a little Photoshop, but all Creative Cloud.
You're in the Adobe ecosystem.
Yes.
Resolve.
What was that?
Free is good. I pay $60 a month for Adobe. It sucks.
No, I'm Resolve, but
I'm hooked.
Yeah, Resolve too.
But I pay for mine.
Oh, right. Now it comes out.
What?
Yeah, you were shouting at me for still having 15.3.
Yeah, you're just behind on the. You're even behind on the free version.
Well, to quote you, I just have something that works, and I haven't bothered upgrading.
Yeah, but you're missing out on all the goodness.
Yeah, so you're missing out on Crossfire Shot.
No, you're missing out on oversaturated, really good reverse smooth footage for Jay Wren.
Well graded, well color graded.
No, it's not the well color grade stuff that's the best though, according to him.
It's got to be overexposed, oversaturated, and he's happy with that.
I'm down with oversaturated. I don't know about overexposed though.
Another question: how close are you to getting FPV in a movie?
I could tell you, but then I have to kill you. Well, wasn't it Johnny or something got in Bad Boys or something, wasn't it? Wasn't he in Bad Boys?
Possibly.
I'm not sure.
I did see an Instagram post where he was with Will Smith.
Yeah.
Yes, he was in Will Smith's bucket list, was he not?
Yeah, that was his YouTube channel. That wasn't for a movie, as far as I know.
Oh right.
But I wouldn't be surprised. Johnny is. I've been kind of following some breadcrumbs with Johnny and seeing I think he's done some cool stuff recently. So I'm sure we'll see something soon. But yeah, I'm close on some things to potentially be in some movies. So we'll see. We'll see.
Keeping it close to his chest.
I have to. Yeah.
Johnny's not in DRO anymore, is he?
No. His last season was 2018. Yeah, 2018.
Didn't
the year I won.
Tommy do something where they chased a car with the third person drift? They had the paint on the windscreen, wasn't that?
Yeah, that was absolutely mate. And the drift car guy crashed it, and he had Tommy in slow mo with his goggles on.
Tommy put out a video where he showed like the behind the scenes of doing a shoot with Red Bull recently. It was like maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. Awesome video. If you want to see kind of like what it's like to be doing like professional FPV behind the scenes, like it was a very, very well put together video. That's definitely worth checking out.
Wow.
Myself, Kelsey, and James got to work with Vodafone, which is Verizon in your country.
Yeah, Vodafone. Yep.
Yeah. Where we introduced Lewis Hamilton into FPV.
I've become a huge motorsports fan in the last couple of years too.
Do you want his number? I'll get it on speed dial.
Oh, nice to see you.
Oh, get on.
But yeah, so that's
I've
that
got
is
one.
awesome. What did he say?
Hey?
Wait, is this out somewhere?
Yeah, it's if you go to the Vodafone YouTube channel, you can see it. Just put in Lewis Hamilton and stroke drones, and you'll see all three of us there. And they made a TV commercial for it.
I don't know how I missed this. When did this come out?
December or
December,
something?
yeah.
January?
Like
January, yeah.
What was it?
Wow. Okay, I will watch this later. That's amazing. Is Lewis pretty chill?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
completely.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
nice guy.
I
Short,
believe
a lot shorter.
Short?
Than I thought he would be.
Yeah, that's a racing driver thing. I feel like.
He had
Oh, God.
Doc Martens on. Oh, that's long.
What was that?
Moment of silence with Daniel's Clark.
He had Doc Martens on, and the soles on them were like
I
that.
got you.
And he was still only about 5'2". But he
So-
almost broke your hand when he shook your hand, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. His neck has got to be super strong too.
Yeah.
Without sounding weird, he smells really good.
Okay, that did sound weird.
It smells like he makes 43 million a year. Yeah, I hope so.
I spent like 2 weeks hunting around for the same aftershave he wears. Sorry, cologne.
I'm surprised it's not his own brand at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I found something completely different that I liked, and I've never actually found out what it was.
The F1 season's meant to be kicking off, isn't it? 5th of July, Austria.
Yeah, can't wait.
I
wish that we would have gotten the Holland Grand Prix with Zandvoort being. Oh,
I need to go and watch Formula One at Spa. I love Spa.
Oh, it's a good track.
Yeah, it's fast. Yeah.
Regarding motorsport, I've debated going down to Donington at some point when the GP's on and just trying to contact them and see if they want some footage taken if someone going around the track. So I've seen it done on YouTube and that, but I'm fairly close to Donington. I'm like a 10-minute drive from Donington. So it'll be brilliant to see if I can try and get some footage.
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
You got to find the right turn, the slowest possible turn, because they're still drones are fast, but
You remember the Johnny FPV chasing the Toro Rosso at the time?
yeah.
Remember that, yeah.
Who does the chasing of McLaren? Because McLaren keeps posting FPV footage, and I assume it was in the UK.
I think Tommy did it. I think Tommy did it.
Did he?
Tommy, oh my God, Tommy, or some other Tommy?
Yeah, oh my God.
Dang, jealous.
Did everybody see? You won't know Chris Knight, who is Special K, FPV Pipe or Special K in the UK.
It sounds super familiar.
Yeah, he did the chase footage for Lewis Hamilton when him and he swapped vehicles with somebody else.
Valentino Rossi.
He drove the motorbike and
Oh,
drove the F1 car.
Yeah, I saw the footage in there. I did not know who flew it though.
That was Chris Knight. I'm not to believe it was Chris Knight.
I've seen that video, but I didn't realise it was Chris.
Yeah. Because if literally, I think about 3 weeks before it came out, he posted a picture on Instagram of his quad sat on Valentino Rossi's bike.
Nice.
But didn't say anything. It just looked like it was a drone sat on a motorbike with monster written down the side of it and things like that.
Is number 47?
I couldn't tell you. I don't follow.
I remember.
46.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heavily follow the Formula One, but I don't follow the MotoGP. So to me, it just looked like it's a nice sports bike with a drone sat on it. And then this footage emerged.
I actually wonder whether the GP bikes accelerate quicker than the F1 cars, because the bikes do tend to accelerate a lot faster than cars.
Power to weight ratio.
No, they don't.
Probably.
Up until a set speed, obviously.
Yes, the Guy Martin versus David Coulthard, if you remember from a couple of years ago, where they did the bike versus the F1 car.
Who won?
The F1 car won over quarter of a mile, but Guy was faster off the line by a lot.
I don't think F1 cars are that fast off the line. I think most of their torque is up in the third through fifth gear.
It's changed over the years, isn't it? Because obviously they now get drive from a hybrid
That's right.
system off the line, and they've got a smaller motor driving the turbo as well to stop the turbo lag in the beginning. So
Yeah.
it just makes them really punchy off the line. It's kind of like a Tesla, isn't it? Off the line, nothing can
Yeah.
for a quarter of a mile, nothing can touch a Tesla. After
No.
that, everything just starts reeling it in.
Yeah.
But so you got that kind of effect bottom down, and then the whole combustion engine takes over halfway through. So epic stuff.
It's amazing.
But so yeah, there you go. We worked with Lewis, and you haven't.
Yeah, well, I'm really jealous of your guys' racing heritage too, right? Because like in the States, we don't have many people that are competing at that level of motorsports. I mean, like we have NASCAR and IndyCar, which are great, but it doesn't have the heritage and the journey that Formula One has been. You've got teams like McLaren and Williams, and so much going on in the UK, and famous racing drivers like Lewis, and it's just I'm so jealous of that. It's not really.
Actually, I have a sporting question for you, all right? And it's not an insult or anything, but American football.
You lead a lot of questions with this isn't an insult, but I keep getting nervous.
An insult.
I don't want to offend you in any way. American football,
Yeah,
and things like baseball.
yeah.
Why do those when we watch like a film version of it, this game's over an hour and a half. Why in real life is it like a whole day?
Because we sell so much advertisement over it, right? So like if you think about a football match, you only have time to sell adverts before, at halftime, or after, right? But all of these other sports have stoppage during play for ads to play. So like an American football game would happen in probably like an hour if you didn't stop every 20 minutes for a Bud Light commercial, So yeah, they take a while because of that, I think.
Because my only reference is like Waterboy, the film.
Yeah.
That's good H2O.
Yeah. And that happened like the last game that happened in like 20 minutes.
Yep.
But obviously, when you watch, because they do stream like the Super Bowl over here.
Yeah.
And the wife does like to watch it, but it's just like it's on really late, and it just seems to go on forever, and they always seem to stop, like nothing's going on. And then I realised there's the team that they have on the pitch. They also have another team sat on the sideline.
Yep.
Waiting to swap around, and I was just like,
yeah.
Offense.
Yeah.
Offense and defense, yeah.
I played soccer, football in high school, so I never actually played football, so it was or American football, so I feel your confusion about it.
just batter it out over an hour and a half and be done with it.
Yeah, exactly. Like rugby at that point.
Yeah. Nice.
Jamie said NASCAR is just driving circles.
Left.
You know what
All
though?
left.
If you get on like a simulator and drive an oval race, it's actually way more exciting when you think about all of the things that are going on with strategy and with physics and the way that air is coming off of other cars. Like it's not just driving in circles. It's a dance. It's awesome. It's really cool.
I do use a sim at home. I have the F1 sim, so I have.
Yep. Yeah.
I put the steering on, and I got the foot pedals and stuff, and
yeah,
it's just chaos.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Do you drive on the F1 sim?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I've got a cheap wheel. So we said at the beginning that my birthday's coming up. I think that my wife got me something new for that for my birthday. I'm excited. A little Fanatec system, maybe. We'll see. But so I've been getting more and more into that. Absolutely.
Oh, we need to set up like an FPV F1 evening, because I know that Steele is now into it, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's had this big sim pit at home.
He's got a rig. Holy cow! My buddy Gabby drove IndyCar for a few years. He's got a whole setup I could get him to pop into. Probably we could have a real racing driver in here as well.
Awesome.
Totally show us who's boss.
Do you have a gaming rig, Paul?
Say it again.
Do you have a gaming rig?
Yeah, it's all right here. People that actually build gaming rigs are gonna hate this, but yeah.
Oh my god. management. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
Spider.
Oh yeah, that's way better. I obviously didn't even try. The 1080 Ti, i9 9900, NVMe M.2.
Better stats than mine, but the wire management.
But you should see my quads too. They're all the same. Like it's just as bad. Does it work? Yes. Stop working on it.
Oh my god. Oh dear.
Flowzone FPV is also right. RGB does improve lap times.
RGB improve lap times.
I only have RGB RAM because it was cheaper than non-RGB RAM of the equivalent thing at the time. So
I like that. That's my sort of attitude.
Why is everybody that's into gaming all sat on Intel chips? I don't get that.
Ryzen.
Ryzen for the win.
Oh yeah,
Intel.
but what Ryzen are you rocking?
2700X.
1600X.
9900K.
3990X.
Oof.
Oh.
Go to the third gen, the Ryzen 7 3800, or the 3800X.
Okay, let's do core count here. How many cores?
8.
6.
I don't know.
64.
That's just showing off. That's just showing off.
And then I've got a buddy who has a server he uses to host a Minecraft server, and it's got like, I forget what called. It's like dual Xeon processors or something.
Yeah, our server is actually downstairs under the stairs.
That would be great for rendering. You know, like if you could do like network rendering. That's why I have the 9900K was for processing video.
Yeah, no, I do all the rendering locally, but the wife builds websites for a living, so it's more for her. She hosts a lot of sites in her house.
That's another question I've got for you, Paul, as well. Have you ever done anything fixed wing, like any RC
yes.
fixed wing stuff?
Planking.
My fixed wings never seem to go very well for me. Like I fly like one battery, and I'm like, this is great. It's nice. Now I want to push it. And then I hit a tree and break it in half.
Oh no.
So yeah, I've endeavored into fixed wing a number of times, but I very quickly destroy them.
The last time I went out with fixed wing was with James, and he flew his fixed wing, and he was like so proud it was off and flying, and I chopped it up with my quad.
It's took the end of the wing off, didn't it?
That's what I do. I want to chase the quads, and then I just chop them up as they go by.
Exactly what happened. I was like, I was chasing this is amazing sort of thing, and then he was like, you just hit me. I was like, no.
my buddy Kevin, White Noise is his name. He built a drac, like a right wing drac that he spent probably, he said like 30 hours on, like painting and like getting it all perfect. And he flew it like 3 times, or like over a 3-day weekend. We were at a race together, and like on the 3rd day, I hit it, and it literally folded in half, and there's GoPro footage of like just pieces falling to the ground.
Brutal.
And I was just like, I don't have enough money. Like how much do you want? Like, I am so sorry, but he's cool. Like we were laughing the whole time, but it was just like,
you are literally worse than me now.
Oh man.
I only took a bit off the end of James's wing, but you just literally just chopped them in half. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, it was like I was chasing, and then he did like a really aggressive movement, and it just so.
Oh.
I had that little goblin, flight test goblin. Brilliant. Go on.
The goblin. Oh yeah.
Lidl are currently selling these chuck gliders, and I've converted them to RC. And me and my friends that do fixed wing stuff, we all get them every year. They come around every year and sell them, and we always convert them to RC and FPV and stuff.
That's awesome.
Brilliant to fly.
That's one of the laws down here, because James was saying the other day, because where we're based in the UK, we've got Dartmoor next to us, which is a National Trust park, and obviously drones and motorised RC are not allowed on the moors unless you're in a proper flying club. But James said that if it hasn't got a motor, in other words, it's a glider, you
Yeah.
can fly anywhere.
Anywhere you want, and they can't stop you. Awesome.
If it doesn't have a motor.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't have a motor, and you can't even have a motor that's not even wired in. They just said that because that's just semantics. It's still got a motor on it. Anything RC with a motor, but I mean, technically you could say a servo is a motor, but let's not get into that.
Propulsion motor is what they're on about then.
Propulsion motor, yeah. So yeah, I found that out. I was like, oh my god, I need to get myself a slope soarer.
Oh yeah, me and my friends do that. I've got one up here. It's currently in bits because I crashed it on a slope, but it needs repairing. But it's brilliant.
Oh, get on.
It's like an 86 inch.
As the tail to be the right way around.
It keeps going back together. The nose, it basically, my RX pack died and it was flying by itself for about 30 seconds until it ploughed into the side of the ridge.
Can anybody see that question on the chat from Jay Wren?
Nose in, so. The wings aren't quite big though.
Because I don't want to ask that.
It's one half of the way.
I put a link in the chat to a video. It's the biggest plane crash I've ever caught on camera at about 40 seconds. It's a full-size right-wing drac, which is like I think it's almost 2-meter wingspan.
Oh, yeah, he hit the post there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an absolute explosion.
That one wasn't my fault, thank goodness.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, actually, it kind of was because I was kind of egging him into it. But that is like a $2,000 plane. Like the body alone, I think was like $300 or $400, and then he's got to have because the control surfaces are so big, he's got huge servos and like 1.3 gigahertz controls. He's got like 4 cameras in it. Like, and he just absolutely obliterates it.
Wow.
Oh, I felt bad when I destroyed my £2.50 goblin.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my god.
Hey, he had a fair few trips out that thing though, on the Crossfire, just testing the waters.
Yeah.
And the Fat Shark battery failure at 4 kilometers is always exciting.
There have been a few times where I'm out long ranging with people and the goggle batteries start to die, and they just put it into a hover, and you have your friend swap the battery. So like you hot swap it, I'll be out like a mile and just kind of like get it to a relatively stable hover, and then I'll have someone else just take their goggle battery that aren't flying and plug their battery into my goggles.
Yeah, but the entertaining part was that with that being just a little foamy, I didn't have like iNav in it or anything, no GPS stabilization.
Oh yeah, no, same.
So it's like, I hope it's trimmed correctly. I'll just
Fine.
and hope that when it comes back, I've still got feed.
Yep.
Has anybody done the TVS challenge yet? I don't know how much you followed Team Black Sheep on YouTube.
TVS challenge.
Yeah,
challenge?
The challenge was the latest update for Crossfire modules and receivers from TVS is that you can bind more than one radio to the same receiver.
No.
You could do that before anyway.
No, because what they're saying is the challenge is that they want to find the biggest mountain they can find. They want somebody on one side of the mountain to fly the quad up one side, and then when they get to the top, they have to literally turn off and fail safe. And the other person on the other side of the mountain turns on, connects arms, and then flies down the other side.
Oh my god!
And there is considerable prizes available for somebody that shows it and does it.
Wow,
Stephen, where's Stephen? Our native long ranger.
Yeah,
he's in. He's going to do it.
He says, "I'm in." They literally announced it on the Team Backsheet live stream.
K2, he says K2 Mountain. He's in.
We're good. If
That's
anyone can do it, he can do it.
Yeah, well, he can't be in 2 places at once. He needs somebody else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he does. I'm in. Send it.
Send it.
Yeah, he's only got the micro module as well. So I mean,
well, could that be an added challenge? Is like you have to. What if you like? Could you set up a challenge where you have to switch radios mid-flight for some reason. I don't know.
It's like Motoreye, you know, when they did like the throttle on the switch and that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or there was a time for a while where Stinger Swarm was doing like tricks with the radio, where he would like do like a kickflip with the radio in his hands while flying.
No, you can't. If you drop it, you're stuffed, don't you?
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, you drop it, you're dropping your radio too. Like,
oh dear.
For sure, he flew a Futaba, didn't he? Like that's $600. He's just tossing around without eyes on.
Ow.
Only the top UK pilots I think use Futaba around here, don't they? Am I right? Holmesy. I don't know what J Ren flies actually.
Top pilot.
Whatever it is, it's backwards, and he's painted it really bright. Dear me. Right, we need to wrap up because it is very late. We are very over time.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys' flexibility. Sorry about that again.
No, man, it's been awesome having you on.
Yeah, we really do appreciate you coming on. You're an absolute gentleman.
It's my pleasure.
All right. So, for everybody watching, thank you very much for joining us. It's a goodbye from me. It's a goodbye from Kelsey.
See ya.
It's a goodbye from Malk.
See ya.
From Daniel.
Bye.
From James.
See you later.
From Luke.
Yeah. And
the absolute legend, Paul.
Cheerio.
Take care, everybody. See you next time. We're clear.